What is up, Coffee Talk? Welcome. Yes, I got some hair color and they blew it out. I feel like this is like my grandmother's hair. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, and my glasses broke, so I'm wearing these other glasses. I'm just way off today. What is up? Let's go. Don Shaw's in the house. What up? What up? What up? Let's get it kicking, guys. Here we go. Actually, I can't even see with these glasses on. I posted something in Facebook. I don't know if you guys saw. Yeah, Denise, what up? You got it. So I got my hair done yesterday. I'm and totally cracking up. Everybody's in compliance, whatever, getting my hair done. And she goes, you want to blow it out? And I'm like, okay, I'll blow it out. And I'm like, so midway through the blowout, she hands me a wooden spoon. No joke. And I'm like looking at her, and my first reaction was, okay. I think I thought she was trying to give me a mirror, right? I'm like, to look at the back of my hair, but she just started blowing my hair out. And I go, okay. And she goes, hold on to that and then put it on your ear so that I don't burn your ears. Oh my God. I cracked up so hard. I have the picture. I'll post it later. But I put it on Facebook, Riddle Me This, and I put it in front of the sink so you guys would kind of catch on that I was at a salon. So nobody got it. Denise got it, which is really funny because that cracks me up. We're totally white bread, white people. And then she goes, yeah, that's from my Dominican friend I learned years ago about the spoon on the ear. And I go, wow. That's smart, right? Who'd have thunk it? Can you imagine going to one of these fancy schmancy Vidal Sassoon and they hand you the spoon? You put the spoon on your ear and they start blowing your hair out. And really, seriously, her thing was super hot. I go, dude, ow, hot. It's just so old school. Welcome to Miami. Anyway. The spoon riddle is solved. Thank you, Denise, for kicking it in. So that's that. Spoon riddle. We are going to get into it today. Again, those are not my glasses. They're kind of bugging me out. Hair done. Nails are done. I'm growing this stuff out again, and I'm feeling kind of spicy today. But I need glasses so I can't see who's jumping on. All right, so who's jumping on? Lisa. They've done that to me before. Avoid burning your ears. Yeah. Looking good. Thank you. Good morning, Bessie. Good morning, Laura. Denise, you're a winner. Chicken dinner, girl. I love that. I was waiting for my Latin crew to jump on here and go, I know exactly what that is. But first, they're it's something to beat me with, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you guys, so way off. Anyway, what is up? Good morning, everybody. These are not my regular glasses. These are just, Temps, because my nose piece broke. That's, a lot of information that you guys could care less about. Lisa Wong is on here. What is up? Juan, good morning. Placicios, all right. Danny Knight, what is up? Amber is on. Don Shaw. Eve is on. Catherine, what is up? Welcome, everyone. Lori, I did the same thing. Got my hair cut yesterday and stayed with the grown out look. Long hair, don't care. Yeah, I'm growing it out. I kind of miss my long hair. Those of you who know me, I go long and I go short, and I mix it up. I go through these periods, as you guys know, after the past couple of years, I went short, and then I went platinum, and that was kind of cute for a while, but, you just can't keep that. That's it's black and white. It's one or the other. It's you do it, and then you go out to an event, and then that's that. And short's cool, it's fun, it's easy, it's I get it. It relieves you of a lot of what to do with your hair, but I love long also, so I'm in a long mood. Anyway, again, this weekend I am really focusing on what is up, Carolyn, what is up, What up, Danny? Cheryl Hall, welcome everybody. I am super excited today. I'll just let you know. I got some I have two really big projects that I'm working on, and it's all gonna benefit you guys moving into this next phase of my career. I kind of always thought I was gonna kind of go in this direction, but I wasn't really clear on how that mechanism was going to kind of kick over. I've worked for myself my whole life. I've gone in and out of the corporate environment. Yeah, I got a closet full of suits, like pretty badass actually. I look good in a suit. I look good in a pencil skirt and high heels too. I know it's shocking. Some of you are like, what? Yeah, you're like, it's not always tomboy. And for a lot of you that have known me, you've actually seen me in the pencil skirts and high heels. And I know it's pretty shocking because Mama looks good. Mama looks good. Anyway, but I dress for myself and I dress for comfort, and I don't really give a fuck what you guys think. Anyway, so, and I'm also dressed because immediately after Coffee Talk, we do our workout. Today is going to be, I have not written it out, but I kind of know where I'm going to go. I always kind of know my programming before I do it. And also 40 years of doing this, I have program out the wazoo. Out the wazoo. If you don't know the term wazoo, yeah, it means your butt. Lori, what is up? Welcome. Bessie Grass, I love you. You did highlights? Yes, I did highlights. I did color and highlights. Look good. Love it. All right, cool. I never known what color my hair is gonna go. It gets a little brassy. Sometimes it's orange. Whatever. Again, today is like a really cool topic, and it's also gonna build. Coffee Talk is going to be a podcast. I just ordered some equipment. I'm getting up the basics. I'm getting a little clamp, a little thing here, my microphone, so that you guys can listen to me on the road while you're working out, while you're working, you're bored at work, or you need like a little timeout, and just to hear my voice go through life. So my coffee talks are going to get a little bit more refined. Again, this started not too long ago. I started Coffee Talk. Actually, I started Coffee Talk years ago, and I kind of toyed with the idea, but I wasn't, they always say that kind of like when the student is ready, the monk will appear. That's kind of how I've lived my life. I don't push anything. I really like to, when I start manifesting my next move, and my life has just been about, chess moves, working for myself and building my legacy has always been about doing what I believe is the right thing to do at the right time. And a lot of people will have a program set in their mind, like, I gotta get this done, and I gotta get that done, and like, whoa, like, okay. But if it's not the right time, it doesn't flow. Everything's gotta have a flow. My life as I've gotten older has gotten like the dam has opened up, and there's just tons of flow. And part of that is being like okay with myself and okay with I'm jumping on here, and I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I don't know if you guys ever go, wait, first of all, I refuse at the highest level to go to a clothing store and go into a mirror like in a dressing room and take off my clothes and try on clothes. I'm like, oh hell no! Oh hell no! That to me is like, how do you expect to sell clothes when you have these god-awful mirrors and god-awful lights? Like, bright lights and it's like no. Like, I refuse. No. I've gotten to a point in my life also where I kind of know if it fits or if it doesn't fit. So I just go with that. And I've also gotten to a point in my life where I just don't buy clothes. I'll buy t-shirts and underwear and socks, that kind of thing, and workout things, but clothes wise, I'm not a big shopper. I'm pretty basic. And I've gotten to a point also where I'm like, one more new thing does not, nobody's gonna, when you see me outside, I'm like, super comfortable, I got my moto jeans, my cool little, and my boots or whatever, and I'm like, If you don't like this, nothing else I wear is ever gonna make you like me. So you kind of click over in life and go, fuck it, I'm wearing what makes me happy. And listen, you guys, like, I have friends that are just like Hervé Léger, like, you know, they're like, I gotta fit into this dress. I don't care what I have to do. Lisa, I need to lose 5 pounds because I'm going to an event. I'm like, girl, just smush your ass into that dress and own it. Own it. Freaking own it. Listen, pull the camera in. Pull the mic in here. It's like, let's get real Friday. Let's get real Friday. Let's totally get real. Like, guys, you know, if you think you're fat, you probably are. If you think you're overweight, you probably are. If you think you're out of shape, you probably are. I don't need to tell you that, and I'm not here to like sit and judge and go, hey, you should be working out more. Like, I think we all know that. You cannot get to the point where you're saying to me, you know, my knees, my back, my hips. I think there's a song that goes with this, but you know, when you have all these aches and pains and this and that and this and that and this and that, and you make a list and you go, I am this combination of ailments. And then you complain that you can't do shit. Well, you know what? I have the same list that you guys have. But I'm going to take my happy ass outside and do the best I can. I got a spin bike last night. What? And part of it was because I've got a L4, L5 herniation in my back. So sometimes things will like kind of like get at me. And it's almost like this. Have you ever had like an injury that taps at you? I mean, really? That thing will just aggravate you at a low level, and then you're kind of like, you're in a bad mood, but you don't know why, and you've got this tapping thing going on, and it's that injury that's kind of nagging at you, but you've learned to like mask it over and work around it, but it's still tapping at you. That's my back. That's my shoulder, and that's my neck, and part of that is I'm getting older, so those injuries are susceptible to how I move, how I eat, how I sleep, and my happiness. Like, when I'm happy, nothing hurts. You ever guys go, like, you ever fall in love, right? Like, I'm in love with me right now, and I'm in love with you and what I'm doing, so you guys have all my, like, yummy love, right? But you ever meet somebody, and you start dating, and all those happy hormones are just out of control, right? Stay with me. Stay with me on this. This is that time when you're like, oh my God, I could talk to this person 24/7 and never be tired and never be like, oh, I got to get up and work. And then all of a sudden you're still talking to the person. And you're like, no, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. I could talk to you all night. And then like it's 6 o'clock in the morning, you got to go to work. And you're like at work, like, you don't have an injury to speak of. You are like completely injury free. Your whole like world is like coated with like gumdrops and rainbows and right. Here we go. This is you. This is you when you're in love, right? What? This sits on my desk every day, by the way. And Melissa, I think of you all the time, every time I look at it. It's the same thing in life when we have injuries and you go, I'm either going to look at this injury as an injury and it's a part of my body that is a little sensitive, or I want to be older and stronger and I want to do all the things that I've ever done. So I need to fall in love with actually my injury and go, hey babe, I'm going to take care of you. Don't you worry, back. I do that. I look at my back injury as like, oh, I'm not going to ignore it. I'm going to make sure that every move that I make, that's why I'm such a fanatical, like, about form and function. You guys, like, you move, and a lot of you move from this stupid chair or the bed or the car or the cell phone. You're like humped. You look like your parents. You do. You look like your mom. I have some like dog action going on in here what you guys can't see. So bear with me. What up, people? So going and looking at like where we are and how we function in life, we have to fall in love with where we are and accept, we're not 22 anymore. You're not staying out late. Those hormones are changing. And what I want to get into with you guys today, I do know how to talk. Okay. So this is the wolf pack. I don't know. It's my life. It's my life. Sorry, guys. Sorry. You love me, you love my dog. Hey. Okay. All right. Enough. All right. What? Yeah. When one starts, it's like concert over here. And this is pretty much every morning. You guys miss this part, but you just shared my morning. It's a concert. All right. So I digress. Sorry, guys. All right. Back to coffee talk. And I want to talk about foods for... Hold on. Out of my room. Out. That's crazy. Sorry. Normally not that charged up, but we've been up for a while. All right, so we want to talk about food and longevity. And I set this up because I want to let you guys know that I follow certain doctors that are out there. Carlito, what did he say? I love you. Everything that you bring. Carlito, I love you too, and I need to see you, by the way. We need to, like, hang out. All right, so food for longevity. Let me back up. I talked to you guys about Dr. Rhonda Patrick, Dr. Peter Attia, some of the Dr. Fong, Dr. Mindy Pels, the people that I love to follow, Weston A. Price Foundation, Dr. Mercola. There are people that I've really kind of latched on to. Now, anything that I listen to or study or follow, I also take a side eye to, because I want to hear the science, but I also want to reference it. And I go back and forth. And there's a couple of new people that I'm following right now. And it just seems to be that the stuff that I'm listening to with these specific doctors are like, the science is so right on. And I love that. I love being able to say, I've been talking about this for 40 years and you guys have looked and listened to me. I've actually had doctors where I've been in lectures that will stand up, walk out, and tell me to my face in the lecture that I'm basically full of shit. And I'm like, really? And now all these years later, I've never gotten an apology. I don't care, because I always say, I don't have DR on the end of my name because I was not, funded by or taught by an institution. So my brain is like, I just want to hear the science. And I want to hear it collectively from a bigger group of people. I want to make sure that if I go after certain people, I'm like, is it the same over here as it is over here? Or is there something wonky in between? Mel? Dr. Gabriel Cousins. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, Cousins has been around for a long time. There's a lot. I'll make a list. Guys, we're in the middle of a 5-week challenge. We're not in the middle. We're in the beginning of a 5-week challenge. I just got a couple of new people that jumped on board. $99, 5 weeks. Get your shit together. We're ending this first challenge, July 4th weekend, but we're going through a lot. My 5-week challenge people don't even have a clue yet. They're like, oh, happy. We're in this group, chatty chat. And I'm like, yeah, wait till the homework kicks in. But part of that is saying, I want you guys to really be more educated, have more of a base and a foundation to work with, instead of approaching things like, oh, so-and-so said vitamin D is good, and so-and-so said vitamin whatever, and they say that is good, and they say that is good. And I say they is a lot of people with a lot of information that, you know, it's like, how do I get from point A to point B? And most of you are just in some kind of like zigzag. I don't know if you're just listening to me, I'm making a zigzag, a massive zigzag with my finger and getting from point A to point B. And I did that for you. So over the past 40 years, I try to make things a little bit more comprehensive and say, not one size fits all in food, nutrients, dietary habits. Some of you are vegan, some of you are vegetarian, some of you are keto, some of you are paleo, some of you are Mediterranean, some of you are just way off the rails and you're just eating whatever. And that's where I want to step in and say, all of the diets are good, but there's also a bigger picture on the other side of why do we eat what we eat and how does it affect my body? One of the things that I start with, and I want you guys to be very clear, I'm only trying to give you guys options. I'm only trying to give you guys options. And those options are, if we were taught to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you were from Alaska, your breakfast, lunch, and dinner is probably a lot different from somebody who lives in Texas, or South America, or China, or Australia, or Japan. So when you think about, there's cultural differences, there are demographic differences, there are climate differences. You know, it's like I said yesterday, I think I mentioned where, you know, in the winter, I'm not inclined to eat ice cream or cold things. I don't eat ice cream. I'm talking about dairy-free. But I think that there are basics to nutrition that are for the longevity of our internal function. Not sure what I just said right there, but I'm kind of getting into, if we're all human bodies, we can all function off of the same types of foods, and there are certain foods that are just, they outclass other things. So let's just knock off the top and say, ask yourself right now, what types of food do you think you're eating right now that are good foods? And what types of foods right now, because this should be your homework for the weekend. We've got one more show tomorrow, and I'll kind of recap tomorrow. But if I were to ask you, what's your good and what's your bad? We're adults, so we know there are good foods and bad foods. You don't take an apple and bite into it and go, I really shouldn't do that because that's not going to be good for me. Do you take a piece of cake and eat it and go, I really shouldn't do that because that's not going to be good for me? Or look at the cake and go, that's just not a good decision, right? Do you step out onto the ledge and go, if I get a little bit closer, I might fall, or I really should back away from the ledge? So food is a ledge for a lot of people, or I can say a slippery slope, because it's not eating the one cookie, it's eating the 10. And I'm that 10 cookie person. That's why I don't buy it. I don't bring it into my house. I'm just like, no, just no. If I have a no relationship with the bad food, then I can psychologically set myself up and go, okay, if I present myself with a lot of good food, I don't go after the bad. And now we talk also a lot about food as reward, how we're triggered by food. A lot of people have a lot of different theories, to each his own. And I believe that whatever your theory is about food and how you perceive food as a, cultural thing or a dietary thing or a stimulant kind of thing or an evil kind of thing. A lot of people out there are just like, food is evil. I'm like, well, this show is just to help you guys make better choices. That's all. And if I can trigger one of you to go, I get it. You know, what she said was right. And I totally get it now. I never heard it that way. Or I've actually never had somebody tell me, like, stop eating shit. And sometimes that's the trigger that you need to wake up and go, wow, I don't feel good when I eat certain things. So why do I keep eating them? And how do I curb that? How do I change those habits? Laura's talking to me here. Mine is more like a base jumping. Base jump. I like that. Yeah. So, what are the foods for longevity? Let me be clear about my eating style, my eating habits, my food choices are basically for me. I design programs for people all over the world. I have clients from all over the world, from Europe and South America. I do one-on-one personal training, all online. I've shifted my business 100% online, which has been the most rewarding thing I could have ever done. I had no idea that being online was going to be this much fun and this much rewarding. But where COVID-19 was a bad thing, it actually did the thing that I couldn't do before it did for me. And that was getting people to recognize that I can train online, I can see her, and I can see you, and we can talk just like we're here. FaceTiming, Zoom meeting, all of those platforms allowed me to be able to talk to people that I could never talk to before because they were just not online or they were texting. Now we're talking on the phone and we're FaceTiming. I FaceTime everybody. I'm like, hey, FaceTime, bloop. Hey, what's up? And we're here. So if you guys are interested in any, one-on-one coaching, any diet organization or fitness coaching, drop me a comment below. I'll reach out to you. I'll give you what has also been the greatest invention ever. If you guys are running a business, I use Calendly. It's like calendar with a L-Y, and it's got my full schedule. So when I send you the link and you pick a time, like that time's that time, and I get a notification, and it just runs my business, almost effortlessly, so I can go about my day and do things that I normally wouldn't have time for. So the one-on-one, the group coaching, all of that online has allowed me to also spend more time and focus on the thing that I love, which is helping you guys get in shape. So when we talk about my diet, or I try to get you guys to start thinking about intermittent fasting, and it's not new. I've been doing intermittent fasting since I'm 16, and most of you know that I'm a little bit older, but what I learned early on in my eating habits were when I wake up, and I love coffee, nothing against coffee. I have certain coffees that I think are better than other coffees. I'm also a coffee aficionado. One of the things that I've always wanted to do is open a coffee truck. Believe it or not, I know that sounds weird, but loving coffee, also I understand that coffee is, and a lot of you have heard this, coffee is a natural diuretic. So that means that in my body, to be able to drink something acidic, it also pulls magnesium and from my bones. I'm looking for those things that are going to balance, and that's where we don't really think about how food affects us. If we eat something bad, it's not like, oh, I ate something bad, it'll pass. It's how does my body acclimate to eating something bad? Which is, oh, okay, so I'm going to draw calcium and magnesium and all these other things out of your bones and out of your body to regulate that coffee consumption. So number one is magnesium. Magnesium, 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 magnesium. Write it down. Let's talk about it. Because we've been lied to about calcium. Calcium, milk does a body good. Not true. Never was. But it definitely sold milk. And most of us are like lactose intolerant. As a matter of fact, I think it's kind of funny that a lot of my friends and clients are like, yeah, but I drink lactose free. I'm like, well, you're basically drinking white water. Pasteurized white water. So what's the point? And then there's the whole ethical thing about, cows and, only nursing cows give milk. And so I get my mind kind of wrapped around that. So I love almond milk, hemp milk. There are different types of milks that are out there that are amazing, amazing, amazing. So magnesium back in the body, balancing out, getting those nutrients back in the body. Salt is another thing that we've been lied to about. Salt is bad. Salt is terrible. And blood pressure, like, whoa. No. Not all salts are created equal. So we also realize that taking salt out of our diet put us in jeopardy of not having those electrolytes in our body to balance out. And then we were out working out, and we got heart flutters. When I'm also working out, as you guys know, I used to train Ironman racing, magnesium and salt, because I'd go out for 3 to 6 hour bike rides, and my whole back would be completely crusted with salt. So salt in my body, and I would get those little AFibs. I get those little heart flutters. So I realized that I had to put salt back in my diet. Thank you, Melissa, because I've got like all this Himalayan salt that's like so yummy, and I love salt. I love, the gourmet truffle salts, all those things. It's so good. And again, I need to balance the electrolytes in my body. So that's one of the things that for me really helps out a lot. If you have high blood pressure, it's not always take the salt out. Remember, doctors, and if I've got medical on here and you disagree with me, that's totally cool. But I got your number because I was married to medicine, so I was exposed to just a fleet of medical doctors that all said the same thing, and they confessed the same thing. They did not get educated in nutrition. I think the average time spent in nutrition for a doctor is about an hour. So when I go to a doctor and I'm talking about my body and me specifically, there's a lot of confusion when I ask what are the alternatives to this problem, or how do you present yourself to a patient that has this, and this? What nutritional advantages do they have over taking a medicine? And the blank stares or the aggressive tone that I get, which is, I got $100,000 medical, bill to pay for my schooling, and you can't just walk in here, and act like you're a fitness trainer and you know more than me, although you're right, but I can't admit that. Am I hitting that one hard? Am I hitting that one cold? Yeah. Because I've had it. Listen, I have doctors that come to me and they ask me, what do you think, Lisa? Because you have more, time under tension. Because I want to know. I want to know what's current. What's happening? How do we do this? COVID-19. Guys, COVID-19. Boom. Zinc, right? Vitamin D. Boom. Immunity, right? We've been doing immunity our whole lives, but for some reason, we're like, oh my God, let me take care of my immune system. Like, really? Is that like a news flash? Why are older people and younger people more susceptible? Because they always have been since the dawn of man. We've evolved, people. We've gotten a lot stronger. So, and again, we don't know what this thing is. We still don't know. Nobody really knows. And I'm not into conspiracy theory at all. I think it's a joke. I get people that DM me videos, and people are DMing like some crazy stuff. And I have to block them because I'm like, let's have an intelligent conversation about the message that you're sending me. And that just goes way off the rails. And I'm like, sorry, I got to block you because you're just not making any sense. Because the people that I follow are like normal people. And it's really, it breaks my heart that intelligent people are not very smart. And there's a lot of really intelligent people that I deal with that just aren't smart. And that's okay. Because, here's the bottom line. If you guys don't believe a word I say, you're either on your phone or on a laptop. I want you to write this word down. Get a pen. That's going to answer all of your questions. Ready? G, as in Gaylord. O, G, L, E. You don't even have to put in a .com. Just put Google. And Google that shit. And then make a decision for yourself before you give your health over to someone else that's going to prescribe medications that you're going to be stuck with that are going to whack out your system. I'm here to help you guys get healthy. What do you think? What do you think about food? What's your relationship? I will help you with. But making better decisions on the foods that you eat. So we talk about breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I'm going to go back to that. Listen, I know if you guys are from different cultures or different parts of the ecosphere, you're going to go, well, we don't eat that in Alaska, or we don't eat that in China. I get it. Because I've been all over the world. I've had every cultural food. When I'm in China, I'm like, oh yeah, I just dig it. You know why? Because they eat salmon for breakfast. I'm like, yes, I'm in heaven. And I text my friends, I'm like, I'm in China and I'm loving life because they eat, fish, like fresh, fatty salmon, right? Sorry, I'm just gonna go there. I'm gonna step on it real quick. But how many incredibly overweight, obese Chinese people do you see? Like, you just don't. You know why? Because they exercise every day. Because it's part of their regimen. It's what they do. And I've seen it. I've been there. They're Tai Chi in the park, right? Like hundreds of them, like in the park. Woo! I dig that, right? And they're eating like better foods. Anyway, let's go back. So I want to talk about the foods that are healthy for you guys. I also want to talk about intermittent fasting. Santi, talks about gut health. Gut health is everything. We talked gut health yesterday. If the information highway is congested, then it's not going to happen. If we're not getting the information from your gut to your brain, then the information is just not going to happen. And most of us are, we're kind of guilty. We're guilty of like our upbringing. Now, let's take a step back. And if you're like me, I was introduced to like grape nuts, Count Chocula, Captain Crunch, what else? Fruit Loops, and I was actually like, I love like grape nuts. Remember those it was like a hard cereal? I love grape nuts. I don't know. I'm the weirdo. Oh, and I loved Raisin Bran. Raisin Bran was like my go-to. And I don't even know why, but even as a little kid, I was like, I think this is a lot healthier than, I didn't really love the sugary foods, although those were really sugary. But when I think back on growing up, it was like, get up, get dressed, go to school, because my mom was working 3 jobs to take care of us. So she was like hammering. She was like working her first job, had to come home, get us up, get food inside of us, and kick us out the door to school, and, you know, go to her next job, work that job. And we walked to school because our school was about 6 blocks from our house. So as little kids, we were like, and I loved it. I loved walking to school. I love school, right? And then the lunch tray, remember the ceramic lunch trays? And for me, that was like always like, I don't know, it was always junk food. It was just junk food. I think it's still junk food. I never quite understood that. Like, where was all the healthy eating? There was none of that. It was pizza and hot dogs and, I don't know, stuff that I don't even know what was on those plates. But I ate it because, like, that was the only food we had, right? And then I started bringing my own lunch. And that was kind of a transition for me. Even as a little kid, I was like, I don't know about this food. Like, right? Throw the tray in. And if you were like me, I was a really skinny, active, super hyperactive kid. Like, super skinny. I was just like, I had, like, my knees were bigger than my quads. Yeah, I was that kid. But just super, super, super high active kid. Play. And back in the day, that's all we did because we didn't have TV or whatever. But I grew up at the YMCA. I started karate when I was little. I had my group. We had our people and blah, blah, blah. But I felt like I was eating all the time. Eating every day, all the time. I was always hungry. Like, I couldn't get enough calories in. That was my thing. And I remember running into my house and grabbing the jug of milk and just glug, milk, right? Right out of the refrigerator, and then go back outside and play. And that was how it was. But I remember also eating a lot of food. We also ate a lot of crap. Like, my parents used to eat us like, they'd be like, you know where the kitchen is, go and make your own food. And my mom didn't have a lot of time to, like, police us during the day because she was always working. So that was cool. But when my mom would come home at night, we'd have dinner. And I was like, you know, she would cook. Dinner was dinner. I swear my father loved spaghetti. I laugh with my sister because I'm pretty sure we ate spaghetti like every other night. Like, and I just don't touch spaghetti like now. First of all, spaghetti's not food, by the way. So, food for longevity. You guys are chatting at me here. What do we say? Made the mistake, produce a lot of shit to be able to reach everyone. Yeah, absolutely. Commercial food is, I was hyper and very skinny. Food was annoying to me when I was little because it was taking away from my playtime. Yeah. So, the food and food quality, and by the way, like, I grade my shopping, or actually I have 3 stores that I go to, and I rotate out for different things. But it used to be years ago, I was really hard on Publix because I used to do corporate lectures, and, you know, I tell people, like, listen, you go to Publix, there's nothing to buy there because the quality of the food sucks. And there's no real whole foods. There was nothing organic. There was nothing that was like, it was just, you know, aisles and aisles of just crap. You know, bags and boxes and jars and cans and woo! Like, oh my, like my Wizard of Oz. Jars and boxes and cans and processed and cans of this and that and this and that. And people are like, well, isn't that better than nothing? I'm like, are you serious? And then you wake up one day and you're like super unhealthy. You have this disease and that disease, and then you take that drug, and then you wake up and you go, wow, it really does make a difference to put whole foods into my body. And it's not that more expensive. Now, you can go and get super cheap food, and it's just a super, super cheap quality. Because when you eat bad quality, you chase bad quality. Or you eat bad quality, it's like you're always hungry. But when you eat good, nutritious food, you're like, oh, good to go. And it really does make a difference. So breakfast foods have always been notoriously bad. You know, the bagels and the cakes and the things and whatever. So I say pull away from that. It's 9:45. I haven't had anything to eat yet, but my body already started signaling for food. And I just bypassed it by ignoring it. And so a lot of you guys will get into that mindset of like, oh my God, I'm hungry. And then the signals will start to go off and you feed the signal. But if you give the signal and literally 5 minutes, it'll go away. But a lot of you are triggered by those signals. You're like, oh my God, panic, panic, panic. And you put more attention to the signals in your body than you do the negative signals, because I look at it like that's just a survival tool, but you're not hungry, and you know you're not hungry, and you know that you could go easily, give it a minute, and that bypasses. But we pile on food onto the signal, and then there will be another signal, and you'll address that signal. Now, I'm not saying don't eat. All I'm suggesting is that we back away from breakfast and we give ourselves a chance to really get hungry, instead of just applying the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because you're ultimately in control of the food that you eat, when you eat it, and what you're eating. Why not back away from breakfast and say, I'm going to make a better choice. My food consumption will start after 11, and I'm going to get my biggest meal of the day, because most of you are getting your biggest meal after 8 o'clock or after 7 o'clock, which is when your circadian rhythm, your clock, starts to go down. Your metabolism goes down because you're supposed to be sleeping and resting and repairing, not digesting. You guys don't even have a clue what your body has to go through to digest the foods that you eat. So my suggestion is getting that food in earlier. Between 11 and 4, I'm going to have the most calories I can consume. Right? Between 11 and 4, I'm going to get all those big nutrients in. All the big digestive work has to go in to my body when I'm still like cranky, right? I'm still going, I'm still at the office, I still have work to do, right? So your body's digesting and moving and consuming and processing. And by the time you get ready for that dinner, it's going to be lighter, because you're not going to be inclined to eat bad foods, because you're pretty satiated. You've eaten really good foods, so you're not craving, oh my God, I haven't eaten all day. That's my favorite. I love you guys. Wow. I totally love when you guys come at me and you're like, but when I get home at night, I'm starving. Well, what's wrong with you? Stop the breakfast, get that big lunch in, get all your calories in early, and then light meal or your shake. So I promote shake, meal, shake, and the shake getting all the digestive enzymes in early, getting your protein, your fats, and your carbohydrates so your brain doesn't go crazy. It's a balance. And then get out of the kitchen, wait for your lunch, meal prep, avocado, good coconuts, coconut fats, whether it be whatever your proteins are, again, vegan, vegetarian, omnivore, carnivore, whatever you guys are into. I'm going after my high-fat salmon. Tons of calories. Belisa, isn't that fattening? Urgh. Fats, good fats, don't make you fat. Bad food makes you fat. Processed food makes you fat. Cookies, cakes, ice creams, processed foods, canned foods, bagged food, jar foods make you fat. And not necessarily the thing that's in the jar could be, you know, a food, but because there's no nutrients in it, you eat more food because you're still hungry. Does that make sense? So we've got to get those whole foods in. And I'm talking about a bag of spinach. Eat the bag. Oh, have a little salad. You have like a little bowl. Who started that? Our moms and grandparents started that. A little side salad. Stop with the side salads, guys. Tell me again. Where do you buy your salmon? So, great question. And since Denise is the winner, chicken dinner of the spoon. Guys, I didn't know. Wooden spoon on your ear. Who could, right? All right. My food choices will go one of two different ways. And again, I'm big salmon. But we have responsibly raised salmon at Whole Foods, or now Publix is trying to do it, but they're not really getting it. Excuse me. Every time I start talking to you guys, my sinuses go crazy. But at Whole Foods, they have responsibly raised salmon. I love the quality of it because it's a lot fattier. When I cook it, I ask them to take the skin off. I don't know if you guys do that. But when you're buying your salmon, ask your person, can you take the skin off for me? So that I'm not cooking it with the skin, because I don't like it. Some people do. I don't. And so my salmon is just like what is it? Milam's? Milam's, cool. Yeah. A lot of people are not in Miami, so you guys are, if you're out in your stores and you have a specific area that you live in, go for that better quality. Again, better quality, and you're gonna feel satiated more. So I have a big piece of salmon. I will literally take a bag of spinach after my salmon is cooked and dump the spinach right on top of my salmon and steam it down. Not like obliterate it, but I'll just steam it down, and then that goes on a plate, and I eat the entire plate. My reactions from some of my clients are, oh my God, I feel so fat, I feel so full. I'm like, yeah, but wait till 6 o'clock rolls around, and you're gonna feel amazing, and you're not gonna wanna eat another big meal. So we're just switching things out, guys. Give it a chance. All I ask is that you try. All I ask is that you give it a shot. Salmon, spinach, I bought yesterday shopping, cauliflower and eggplant. I love eggplant. Oh my God. Breadcrumbs, put it on a pan. I'll show you guys all the things. I'll share with you my Pinterest list. A roast. I do a lot of crock pot. It's just easy. I call crock pot my wife because I can put it all in there, go to work, come home, the house smells amazing, and my food is ready. Yeah, love that. You can, chop up your vegetables in your crock pot. Super cool, super easy. And crock pot, I think, also is a great way to have a few days of food. I also think crock pot after day one is even better than day 2 is better than day 1. It's amazing. I avoid eating bad food because I know my food is there. So food prep, meal prep is super duper important. Avocados, salmon, my fruits, I tend to go with high fiber fruits like apples. When I'm in a hot season, I'll go for my oranges. I get a lot of fiber. I love oranges. I'm a super Florida girl, so that's my thing. All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap up. We talked a little bit about food, talked about life. We talked a lot about stuff. And as always, guys, I come to you free of charge. If you feel like this content has been of value to you and you want to keep the show going, Venmo really helps out a lot. PayPal, I don't love them because they take a lot of money out of my money, but that's okay. It works. I'm super blessed right now and super grateful. We have a 5-week challenge going on. Guys, we are into our second Zoom call. I got last minute people that signed up. So if you're kind of on the fence, get in now. I'm going to be starting group 2 coming up. So if you need more information, if you want to do one-on-one training or one-on-one consultations, drop me a link below. Let me know that you're interested in more information. Say more information. And we're going to continue the show Monday through Saturday, 9 o'clock. Topics are just going to go all over the place about food and life and nutrition and working out. And you got your workout. Today is going to be an ab workout. I'm going to write that out right now. As soon as I finish writing it out, I'll post it up on Facebook so you guys can see it. Remember, as always, like, share, comment, put this out there with a watch party so we can get this thing like cranking. I want 1 million viewers to change people's lives. Again, if you don't believe me, you don't like it, you don't have to come here, and try Google what's happening here, because I'm going to be a punch in your face, because I want to see you guys well, and I want super agers to be with me on the other side of 80. Yeah, who's coming with me? Don't get sick. You don't have to. You can change your diet. It's simple. I love you guys. I'll see you here in about 5 minutes. Go ahead and get your mat ready. Tons of abs today, so let's get it popping.